Actually, this is something that we are very pleased that we're able to announce that Allie has been found safely. Also with that, Caleb is now in custody. Short period after our media release and coming back, numerous agencies, as we mentioned before, we've actually had our office, the Virginia State Police, we've had help from Patrick County Sheriff's Office and the FBI. We want to go out and commend them. They have what they call a child abduction recovery team, and they have had a wealth of resources in this. And of course, this investigation literally at people's fingertips with electronic devices stemming from Virginia all the way to Texas and the corridor that it covers. With that, a short period ago, a tip came in Henderson, North Carolina, and immediately resources began pouring in, and the vehicle was located. Both of them are actually taken into custody without incident. Allie is a runaway. Our investigators are down there on the way now, as well as federal investigators that were going to that location as well. She will be spoken to. We will be asking her about what happened, what information. We'll be processing the vehicle that was used in conjunction with this crime, and our investigators will return Allie to her family. Once again, she is safe. I think she was seen by EMS for very minor injuries, but we are pleased. We always thank the media, we thank the community, because this is proof positive of a day and age that these just literally move in seconds and minutes in the information getting out, and we have had a safe recovery. We'll offer, is there anything you would like to offer on behalf of the?
I think we've covered it, Sheriff. Thank you.
What was the tip that led to her discovery?
We actually don't want to go into what the tip was, but we did have a lead that came in, and it gave us some electronic information to begin following, and immediately we started pouring resources in, coordinated with the Henderson Police Department, and then we go back again. This federal team is also able to deploy where leads are following and leading to. So this is just something that it moves very quickly, and investigations like this have changed over the course of years, but when you have an electronic investigation, it can all of a sudden go from no leads to literally, probably this turned over in about the area of less than an hour. All of a sudden they were into custody, and we're thankful, and it's exactly this relationship right here. We also want to point out at this time that please, we have a safe ending to this. We still have some things that will need to be cleaned up. The investigation is still ongoing. We will be seeing what charges stem for this and which jurisdiction which take the prosecution in this. There will be an option. The federal side of this investigation may take precedent for the investigation where they did leave Virginia, but then it may stay at the state level. But those are things that are worked out on the backside. But we do ask at this time, parents have the conversations with young children. The electronic world can introduce very dangerous people to your home that you have no idea. Don't just take their word that they're not doing things they're not supposed to. Talk to them, check the devices, use the authority you have. This case right here is proof positive that there was a predator in our area. He was preying on young women. Stayed in our area for a few days, but fortunately through this incident and a lot of very good work by a lot of people, and we thank them and God's answered prayers that this ends safely this time.
Sheriff, what were her injuries and how did she receive them?
Basically, we just got word that EMS checked her out for minor injuries, and that's all I have at this time.
How many other young girls? You said there were more than one.
Well, we were just going into that this man has been in our area, and we will be looking at all forms of communication as we've delved into this. There's been a lot of communication that has taken place, and we will unravel this. The people who specialize in what you kind of can call electronic footprints and fingerprints and where they lead. So there can still be things that proceed out of this as court orders and search warrants, that information has been retrieved comes forward.
Are additional charges likely?
That could be, yes. At this time, we're unable to say, and we do remind people, and especially young people and parents again, that just because a child, somebody thinks they deleted something, that does not mean it's been truly deleted and cannot be found. And we do remind young people, do not take images of yourself. Be careful, and in these instances, the person you start talking to is generally not the person that is dangerous to you, and these situations can change. This is proof positive of it.
Could you say anything more just where exactly they were found, and did they immediately cooperate?
All I have specifically is, we'll say I think it was near a restaurant in Henderson. Some information come forward, and then that did take place probably, and I'm guesstimating, to try to answer your question, probably in the area of about 15 to 20 minutes, not much longer than that, they were in custody.
Or did they try to flee when the police arrived with them? Or
To our knowledge, no.
Okay. And when you said that people had turned over information, you've been asking the community for emails, phone numbers, accounts, something to lead you to some other accounts. Is that what led to this?
The continual asking for information, contacts, numbers, and through the resources that come this day and age, because so many things relate back to an electronic case, those things can be opened, expanded, and with that information it came about, and then being able to communicate literally in seconds with other agencies, give actual pictures and things like that, and it aided in this case.
Can you say specifically these other girls, were there other young women here in Henry County that he was communicating with?
Well, we do think that there will be communication ties to this area, yes.
Any indication what would have brought the suspect to our area?
Well, we think that it was strictly the interest in meeting and talking to, that this was a predatory type situation. This is evidenced by someone who was of a young age, younger age than they can make their own decisions, and then, yes, was coerced into leaving with Caleb. Even though it was probably a willing entry into the vehicle, but you are dealing with someone of a very young age.
Is there anything you guys can do to make sure something like this doesn't happen again?
Well, I do want to commend a very good working relationship between everyone, very good resources, but the best thing are those parental conversations, parental inspections, talking about the predators, and we can't drive home the point enough that who you think you may be talking to online is probably not who you think you're talking to. Personal information needs to be kept to themselves, and definitely pictures and images. These are the things that people are trolling for.
Did this man have any other accomplices, any other people that you think were working on this with him?
To our knowledge, we think he was in the area alone.
Did he have any other people messaging, though, in tandem with him or anything like that?
I can't necessarily say in tandem. We are breaking down communications and things, and this could go expand out a little bit further, but it does appear that he was here in the area by himself.
How did he get contact to other girls here in this area? Did it start with one and then he was able to get information from that one for the other ones?
Well, just in these chat rooms, we can't exactly answer that just yet, but we do know that there was communication with people in the area.
I know you've answered this question before, but for the viewers that are watching right now, one of the biggest questions that the community has is why you all weren't able to take the suspect into custody whenever you guys looked at or analyzed his cell phones and other electronic devices.
On a very first instance, the communication that came forward from the social media application to Southwestern Virginia Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force, it was concerning language, but it was not illegal language. It more just meant that probably their mental state needed to be checked on, things that were concerning. That's what began our initial contact, and we do want to point out, and once again, having a safe recovery, but we pushed this to the absolute legal limit we could push it, because this is suspicious. This has the potential. And we pushed it. We did seize devices, but even with communication with the Commonwealth Attorney's Office and all of our resources, we were trying everything we could, but we did not cross probable cause lines to make an arrest at that point. And then we go back again and say, but just because you have one or two devices does not mean you have all the devices. And there was still communication going on in this case.
How will Ally be returning here to the area? Or is her family going to pick her up, or will law enforcement?
We
bring her
will,
back?
we actually, our investigators are probably arriving in that area. If they aren't there, they're probably near getting there now, and they will be speaking with her and reuniting her with the family.
Just to kind of end everything, just to encourage the community to always share information, because a lot of people don't like to get involved because they say it's none of my business.
Right, but this, we all have a vested interest in keeping our community safe, and this, we go back in, this man had been in our area for, by his own accord, at least 4 days, but it could have been about as much as a week, and so there was the potential for danger during that time, and we want to, we especially need to look out after our young people.
Was there any other young women here in the area that he was trying to get to come with him based on the conversations that you had, where maybe they said, no, I don't want to go with you, or weren't able to successfully go with him?
We're still seeing what we're going to turn up in communications through this. When you start getting into it, it may open up further.
Anything else you want to share with us? Yep. Awesome.
You think?
Just appreciate everybody's hard work, obviously a joint effort with your guys here in production, so thank you.
Could we have your name, please?
That's Jason McCoy.
Jason
McCoy.